once again. If you're a returning viewer, welcome to the channel. If you're a new viewer, we are Alan Presents. I am your host for this particular video. I am Alan. This is my co-host. This is Leanne. And we are doing our Crown Jewel 2022 predictions for you today. They were going to be put up yesterday, but I held off because there's a current issue in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia where there's a potential threat coming from Iran. So weren't sure quite if the event was going ahead or not. The latest update as of today is Thursday as we're recording this. It'll be Thursday by the time this goes up online as well on our channel. They have already started traveling to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The WWE, the wrestlers, the ring crew, whatever else that needs to go over with them, they've already started to make the journey over. So it looks like the event's going to go ahead. Mm-hmm. One thing I did see is that all the talent have been kind of informed that the area that the attacks are being threatened upon is nowhere near the stadium where they're going to be at for the event.
Good. Well, hopefully everyone stays safe.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go off on that tangent because you know what I was going to say and I'm not going to do it. Okay. So, if you've seen one of our reaction videos, If you've seen one of our prediction videos before, you know how this works. For those of you who might be new to the channel or you just can't remember what we do, we're going to break down in very sort of not in-depth terms. We're going to sort of touch on each of the matches, which there is 8 of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 matches. So we're going to do the non-title matches first, follow with the title matches, and then there's going to be a little something extra at the end of this one. This is something that got announced on Raw. But we'll get into that when we get to that bit, okay? I just feel we need to give something at the end because I think our main event prediction is going to be quite...
Meh.
Yeah. Okay. So, to start off with, we're going to go into the Battle of the Big Men. So we've got Braun Strowman will be taking on Omos. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming MVP will be in Omos's corner. Yeah. It'd be weird if he's not. So they've been kind of having these stupid Omos versus 3 people, Braun versus 4 people, Omos versus 4, all these kind of stupid handicap matches, which I'm really not a big fan of. I'm not a massive fan of those. Like 1 or 2 here and there, great. Every week, yawn. Okay, now I know where they're going with it. They're trying to make it seem like these guys are giants. They can't be beaten. They're just unstoppable forces and that. You could do that with a tag team, with an established tag team, like Alpha Academy when Braun Strowman came back and he seemed to be feuding with them. They did that with them and that was fine because you're getting those guys TV time. Yeah. Whereas when you're doing this, you're bringing in local talents, 4, 5, whatever number of local talents it is that's taking on Omos or Braun Strowman, and it's kind of taking away that time from established wrestlers. I'm going to say that.
I quite like that some of the local talent is getting some TV time.
But it's literally one and done.
Yeah.
If it was like back in the day, a jobber, you probably have them maybe tour with the company for a couple of events and you'd see their face a few times. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's how the Brooklyn Brawler kind of started. And he sort of ended up signing with the company and Barry Horowitz and Aldo Montoya. They were sort of seen as jobbers. Yeah. But they were kind of also part of the company. Right. And I feel this is like, oh yeah, we'll just pick him, and him, and we'll just have them come in, get wrecked, and then they can bugger off home. Yeah. It's not really giving them that exposure, in my mind, you know?
I bet they love it, though.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't do it, I guess. One thing that I really don't like about this whole thing is that when Braun came back, obviously he had a feud with Alpha Academy, and they had that sort of thing going on. Instead of going straight into Omos, they've just been kind of floundering him a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I feel that whilst it's probably not going to be the worst match of all time, I'm not really looking forward to it that much. Yeah. Because I get the feeling it's going to be a letdown. Whereas if they had sped this up a little bit and had it at Extreme Rules, you could have done a street fight, you could have done an Extreme Rules match, you could have done something special with it. Mm. And I feel that putting that kind of stipulation on that match would mean that both big guys, if they get gassed, you're not going to notice it because there's weapons involved. But if you've got someone who's already 7 foot tall and you give them a steel chair, that's going to be even more dangerous. You know, so I feel like they kind of missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, maybe. You know? But then at the same time, it's like you got these big guys. The whole point is they want to showcase how big and strong they are. And they probably want to show that they don't need weapons and things to be scary and tough.
But I just got a really bad feeling it's going to fall flat.
It may well do.
I mean, name me one good match you've seen Omos in.
I can't remember any of the matches Omos is in, apart from some squash matches.
Does that kind of accentuate my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Braun Strowman, before he got canned, he was having matches with. He fought Randy Orton. He fought Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. He was having good matches with them. I'm not saying that neither of them can sort of go in the ring, but I definitely feel there's a weak link, and I definitely feel it's Omos.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Fair enough.
You know. Who you got winning this one?
Braun.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that
somehow the underdog.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And everyone loves an underdog story. So I definitely think that Braun Strowman's going to be the one to win this one. Whether or not it's via foul play or cheating or just using Omos' size against him, who knows? Okay. Next up is the Battle of the Bees. The Battle of the Big Men. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. As Brock Lesnar calls him. Bobby. Bobby. There's a W in Bobby Lashley's name now. So, this is not the first time we've seen this. I believe this is going to be the second time, if I remember correctly. It might have been third, but I can't remember as the second instance. And I really enjoyed the first one of these when it was for the championship.
Yeah.
With this is kind of built out from Brock Lesnar returning and costing Bobby Lashley that United States Championship.
Yes.
After Extreme Rules. Yeah, I thought that was really well done. You know, Seth Rollins come out and he kind of put the beat down on Bobby a bit more. He kind of stomped him. But Bobby wasn't, like, severely incapacitated. He was still able to get up and have a little bit of a match with Seth Rollins. So that kept Bobby looking strong. Mm-hmm. And then obviously him and Brock... Excuse me. Oh, him and Brock have obviously been having some brawls, and Triple H come out last week or this week on Raw, trying to break them up and everything. So I get the feeling this is going to be a 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds flat kind of fight.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, this is what two big men should be, not Braun versus Omos, but this is going to be the true battle of the big men for me.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, look at him, he's 7 foot tall. It's, oh, look at him, he's 7 foot wide with muscle. What the hell?
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I've been wanting to see this since the first one because I really enjoyed that first match.
It's a really fun matchup.
Yeah, you know, and they're both MMA fighters. Mm-hmm. They both know their tolerances. They both know their limits. And I feel that they can go a little harder with each other because they are MMA fighters than you could with anyone else. Like a Roman versus Brock, you can go to a certain extent, but Roman's not an MMA fighter, whereas Brock is. And he kind of... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has to hold back a bit.
Yeah. With Bobby, not so much.
No.
Who have you got?
This is a difficult one. I think I'm gonna go with Brock.
Yeah, I agree. I can't remember who won the last one. I can't remember when it was. Was it a Mania? No, Lashley versus Omos was at Mania. Let me just have a look back through. That's where he won the title there. Was it Royal Rumble? Brock versus Bobby Lashley. Was it Royal Rumble? Bobby won. That's right, because Roman interfered. Roman interfered and cost Brock Lesnar the title. That's right, that's right. Yeah, so I think that setting this up for a potential rubber match, you've got to have Brock Lesnar win this.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. It works with them, the way the storyline's going. And
Yeah. And it definitely makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know, Brock Lesnar's come back, he's thrown his weight around, he's cost Bobby the title. He needs to accentuate his point that he is the better of the two at this point, and that him costing Bobby Lashley the title was just a whatever, you were in my way kind of thing, you know? But then on the back of that, I don't want to see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for like the 50 millionth time after this, you know?
Yeah, we don't want that.
If anything, I'd like to see Brock versus Seth again.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth's obviously the US title holder right now, so.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, next up, we have a 6-person tag match, or 6-man tag match, actually. It's the OC, which is Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles, and they're taking on the Judgment Day. Yeah. Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, I couldn't think of him, and Finn Balor. Obviously, they've got Rhea Ripley in their corner.
Yes.
Now, this is kind of spawned out from the last sort of like 4 or so weeks where AJ Styles was appearing to swear fealty to the Judgment Day. And then he's hugging Finn Balor. He's like, I knew you'd come around. And AJ's like, no, I wasn't talking to you. And then out come the OC, which is interesting because Carl Anderson is still the neverweight open weight champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've decided not to strip him with the title.
Okay.
So I don't know where they're going with this. But we'll cover that in a sec. Yes. So they come back and they obviously get into skirmish with the Judgment Day, and it's now sort of evened up the score with AJ Styles, which is great. I've been missing AJ Styles. He's been missing for a couple of months off of sort of main storylines. He probably needed a bit of time to himself, which, that's fine. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I haven't missed AJ Styles. He's one of the best, and I enjoy seeing him in the ring. The one thing that they can't seem to combat, though, is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Because they can't hit a woman. And it comes to the point where Rhea Ripley, completely body slammed Luke Gallows.
Yeah, full on.
What the hell? That guy's 6'8" and he's massive, and she just kind of made it look effortless. That's kind of terrifying and a little bit. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit. Who wouldn't want to be body slammed by Rhea Ripley?
So then, obviously, they've been saying, we've got a plan in place. We've got an equalizer. We've got a neutralizing agent in place. For Rhea Ripley, nothing's really come to pass at the moment.
No.
But there is rumours that someone's going to show up at Crown Jewel in the OC's corner to help them, combat Rhea Ripley. Now, one rumour I've seen is Mia Yim.
Okay, cool.
I'm kind of wondering if they bring Beth Phoenix back this soon. Because obviously she took the chair of the Concerto at Extreme Rules to allow Finn Balor to obviously win the match when Edge was on the I Quit match.
Yes. Good point.
I don't know if it's too soon for that.
It doesn't quite feel like it would sit right somehow.
No, it doesn't. It's like that part of the feud has kind of progressed. No. So I don't know if that's... So I think Mia Yim is probably a good shout. She was in Impact Wrestling. I don't know if she's working with a contract or not. But I can't really think of anyone else unless they bring someone from NXT.
Maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this one.
Yeah.
I'm quite looking forward to this. I do love a bit of a six-man tag. It always gets a bit chaotic, especially you've got factors like Finn Balor and AJ Styles and the Bullet Club guys, technically Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So Carl Anderson was meant to defend his never open weight championship at another event for New Japan Pro Wrestling on November 5th. Then they returned to WWE and they were like, yeah, you're wrestling for us in Saudi Arabia. Okay, how's that going to work? So New Japan put a statement out going something along the lines of, well, if Carl Anderson doesn't defend his title on the 5th of November, then we are going to strip him of the title and we'll crown new champion. In the last few days, they've said that they... I can't remember the exact wording. It was kind of like, we've come to an arrangement. The match won't go ahead, but we're not going to strip Carl Anderson.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if this means there's a working relationship between New Japan and WWE or not. However, Noah Wrestling in Japan has confirmed that the Great Muta on New Year's Day will face off against WWE's Shinsuke Nakamura. That's wow.
Forbidden doors open again.
Wow. Not only that, they announced another match. Minoru Suzuki, and with the guy with the hair with the weird shape.
Yes.
Yeah, him from AEW. He's fighting Sheamus at the same event.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, sorry, what's going on? I'm confused.
It's a brave new world.
And I'm not sure if Noah is part of New Japan or not. I get the feeling it's not. But this is definitely interesting because obviously AEW, not to go on a tangent too far, but AEW have had that partnership with New Japan.
Yeah.
They've had guys coming back and forth, and they've had Bullet Club members sort of referencing Bullet Club quite a lot. And then WWE just kind of sat on their own island, as Roman would call it, their island of relevancy. But are they partnering up with Noah Pro Wrestling to combat the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling coalition?
Maybe.
That's interesting to me. That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That wouldn't have happened with Vince at the helm, let's be perfectly honest. Because he's stuck in his own little universe. So there's that tangent. In terms of the OC versus Judgment Day, who you got?
I think I'm going to go OC.
Yeah, I think whoever this neutralizing agent is, they're going to come in, they're going to throw the Judgment Day off, and they're not going to expect it, and they're going to be like, and get distracted, and then, OC are going to take it.
That sounds good.
Okay, so there's a 50-50 split on the title match and non-title matches, so we're on to our last of the non-title matches, but it is a special stipulation match of sorts. Stop looking at my notes. You cheat.
I can't read them anyway.
I know, because my handwriting looks like chicken scratch.
Just something to look at.
You're welcome. So the last non-title match we have is Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross inside a steel cage.
Yes.
Oh, I do love a good steel cage match as well. And we haven't had a I say, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll say it. We haven't had a proper steel cage match in a good long while.
Yeah.
The one with The Miz versus Bobby Lashley, that was meant to further the Dexter Lumis storyline.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel that was a particularly good steel cage match.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is being done to keep Scarlett out.
Yes.
Will it work? I don't know.
I have a feeling it won't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, this has come from the last few months where they've been feuding. We've covered up until Extreme Rules in the Extreme Rules prediction, so I'm not going to rehash it here. But since then, it's Drew's allegedly crashed his car into Karrion Kross's, cost Karrion Kross a number contendership match, fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship, which Rey Mysterio won. What? Okay, whatever. And then they've just kind of been going back, but they haven't really been much of a way of physical altercations.
No.
Since that point, whether or not they're sort of playing off the injuries from Karrion Kross, because I think Karrion Kross had a match. Did Drew show up for one? Oh god, I can't remember. My brain is awful today. But yeah, obviously the whole thing of this is to neutralize Scarlett. Obviously, last time they fought, she had I think it was the powder. Or was it the spray?
It was
the mace.
Yeah.
Before that, when they were in the ring, it was the fireball paper thing.
Fireball misfire?
Fireball misfire paper.
The misfireball?
Yeah. But she's obviously getting involved quite a lot with this, and you know, just so it's her man. That's who she's protecting. Fair enough.
You can shoot fire through a steel cage. Just saying.
Yeah, you can spray pepper spray through a steel cage.
Really, they could have just been like in a perspex tank.
I think it would be something different though. I think if they're going to do this, it might be powder.
Yeah,
it'll be something else.
But you get what I mean.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. They're like mitigating something with something that doesn't actually stop it from happening.
Yeah, they're not going to rehash. The only way they could have done that is put them in a Hell in a Cell. Because you've got that kind of what's the word I'm called? Distance between the ring and the actual cage. Yeah.
Or a Shark Tank.
Or Shark Tank, yeah. Or just strap it down to something.
Bring out the big Undertaker.
That came out completely wrong. So I mean, yeah, I think I picked this Drew versus Karrion Kross was my favorite match from Extreme Rules because I just really enjoyed the dynamic and the storytelling and the strap match. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep.
I think this will be another great match.
I think so.
They're both fantastic guys. I'm glad that Drew is not being pumped into title pictures at the moment because I was getting bored of that, and seeing him and Karrion feud has just been I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. We saw sort of a different side of Drew a little bit.
Yeah,
which was good.
Yeah. So on the back of that, then who have you got for this one?
I think that it might. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe Drew.
I think so.
I'm a little bit torn.
Again, we're going back to the whole trilogy thing with the rubber matches. Drew has lost the match against Karrion Kross at Extreme Rules. He's going to win this one. There'll be a blowout, a rubber match. Yeah. That'll be the final match of the trilogy, and then they'll probably move on to different things.
Sounds like a plan.
As much as I want Karrion Kross to win,
I
do think Drew's winning this.
Yeah, he'll put up a good fight.
Okay, so we're on to the title matches.
Whee.
So I've got female, male, female, male in that order to try and break that up a little bit. Okay. So we get into the first of our female match, which is a bit of a last minute addition. And it is the new women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Asuka.
Yep. And
they're facing Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control for the WWE women's tag team titles. I mean, there's not really much to recap of this. They've been out with injury for like 3 weeks. Yeah. So just before Extreme Rules, or at Extreme Rules, I can't remember exactly. They come out, they make the save for Bianca Belair on Raw, then they get challenged to champions to a match. They go into the match and they win.
Yep.
And then obviously the former champions have a rematch invocation, I guess, is probably what's happened. They didn't really say, or I haven't seen anything. But they just kind of went, yeah, this is happening at Crown Jewel. Okay.
Instant rematch.
No, I kind of question why. This is awkward. Okay, so let's start with then. Who do you think's winning this match?
I think it'll probably go back to Damage Control.
I've got a bad feeling that's going to be the same.
It does make you question what the point is.
Yeah. Why have Alexa and Asuka win the belts on Raw and then drop them back to Damage Control at Crown Jewel literally less than a week later?
Could it have been a mistake, them winning?
No.
It didn't look like
it didn't.
A botched
It wasn't,
ending.
no, I don't think it was. I kind of hope they don't because it'll devalue the belt a little bit in my mind.
And if they lose it at this point, then they're like right at the bottom of the ladder for another match.
The only way I can see this furthering anything would be Asuka takes the hit and loses the titles for the team.
Okay.
And Alexa loses her mind.
Yeah.
Snaps and starts attacking Asuka.
Yeah,
therefore
maybe.
starting a feud between her and Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can see that they can potentially be doing with this.
Yeah. But it feels a bit like she's just come out of the like insanity kind of arc.
But with Bray Wyatt showing back up.
But would they want to put her straight back into that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Unless it's more of a slow build thing.
Or unless it's more of an aggressive kind of thing, not a psycho kind of...
Yeah.
Because we got Nikki Cross back on Raw as Sanity Nikki Cross. By putting that back with Alexa, that's going to be really weird. But they could go down the route of, well, you lost me the title, I didn't lose that match, you cost me that belt, and then it's just like a vicious streak.
I don't see it though.
No.
I feel like we'd have seen some build up to it if that's the way they were going.
That's the only reasoning I can think of that they would do this.
So maybe they will keep it then.
I do hope so, but I do have a bad feeling a Damage Control are going to win it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It'll be one to watch, I suppose.
Yeah. Next up is the other tag team titles in the company. So the Usos are defending against the Brawling Brutes. That's Ridge Holland and Butch, or aka Pete Dunne. And they are facing off for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Again, this has kind of not really been built up too much. No. There was a match. Who was it? I think it was one of the Usos against one of the Brutes, and it was a singles match. And the guy in the Brutes won. I think it was Pete Dunne, I think. Oh, I should really start making better notes for this. But that's kind of where it's come from. The title contention has come from. It might have been a tag match, and I think the New Day might have gotten involved. There was definitely shenanigans from New Day.
Definitely New Day.
But the Brutes won it, and therefore they gain a number one contendership because they've technically beaten the champions. So obviously it leads us into this match. That was like, I think it was last week on SmackDown. It might have been the week before. But again, there's not really much to say about that. It's kind of been a bit knee jerk. It's kind of sprung up a little bit.
Yeah. So at this point, have the Usos beaten the New Day's record?
No.
No, it's
no. I think there's still a couple of weeks off, if I remember right.
I think that they're building that up so much that I think they're going to take it right to the wire.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll lose it like on the last day or
So
something.
the way I see that playing out, it's like tangent, but the way I see that playing out is if the Usos do retain at Crown Jewel, they will face the New Day on that, as you say, on that wire.
Yeah, like the last but one day.
So it'll be like titles versus title run.
Yeah.
Or longest title run. Yeah, right. Yeah. So if the Usos win, they will beat the New Day's record. If the New Day win, they retain their record and they get the titles.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're building to.
Yeah.
So I guess.
But I feel they should have started. They should have started building this a lot sooner, though.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah, maybe they hadn't made up their minds.
So you going Usos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to be a great match, though.
Yeah.
Brawling Brutes are awesome.
Oh, yeah, they're fantastic. Like the stuff we've seen with Imperium, so good.
Yeah, they've been doing really well. But like you say, it hasn't had a huge amount of build-up, really, to this match.
A lot of this card hasn't, to be fair.
No, I don't know.
It's only been the last, 3 weeks.
Maybe it's the nature of the event. It's one of these, because it's specifically there for Saudi Arabia, and I don't know, maybe there's a bit more of negotiation of what outcomes certain people might want to see. I
know there's a lot of speculation that the princes and that, they kind of go, right, we want to see this, and that's what the WWE will do as part of the contract. One thing I'm glad of, the early rumours were that Goldberg was going to be there. And I was like, God, please, no.
We haven't seen SmackDown yet, though.
But then, SmackDown's already been taped.
Oh, well, we haven't seen it.
And if they have done anything with Goldberg, then they didn't air it. They obviously tape the matches. Yeah. Any segments, backstage stuff could have been done at any time. But.
Okay.
Next match is for the Raw Women's Championship, and this will be Bianca Belair defending her title against Bayley. So this kind of sprung about from last week. Last week on Raw, when Bianca was facing Bayley again for the third time?
Many times.
Again, they're following the same trope of same match after same match after same match. And Nikki Cross came back, she interfered, she beat both the women up after the referee got knocked down. And then Bayley managed to get the pinfall on Bianca to get number contendership, and this is where the match comes from. This match is going to be a last woman standing match. So it's going to be brutal, it's going to be vicious, it's going to be a lot of interference, I reckon.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to say that yet because it might influence. But Leanne's very influential. I don't want to put that thought in her head. So, Nikki Cross, there's a high chance that she's going to get involved if they take her over.
Definitely.
But again, it depends on how many people they do end up flying out to Saudi Arabia.
It would make sense. I think with the way things have been going with Nikki Cross, if she's not at this show, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she doesn't have a match yet, but it's coming. They're building.
And obviously, we've constantly said how Bianca just needs to drop the title. Because it's just getting old. It's getting
so many people
boring.
Disagree.
Yeah, I don't see what's so special about Bianca. It's
Yeah.
like you said something on when we were watching Raw, and she was facing Nikki Cross, and she did something. She went, and she's supposed to be really strong, and it just looked janky as hell.
I can't remember what it.
I can't remember.
It was Nikki was went under and tried to pull her down. So where they get the legs. And they're sort of pushing, and then they can't quite make it go. And Bianca's standing there, no selling it completely. And I was just like, you're meant to be strong, but you're not that strong. Nikki Cross has muscle.
Yeah, that's
so it's sort of the other way.
Yeah.
It just
I'm a superhero.
Didn't feel real. And there was another thing where she injured her knee or something and was hobbling about, and then suddenly it was right as rain running around.
That bugs the hell out of me so bad.
Come on.
And as bad as
sell it less to start with, or keep it going.
Unfortunately, Asuka did that on Raw as well.
Yeah. It might have been Asuka I was thinking about with that, to be honest. I can't remember.
I think it was either a knee or ankle.
Yeah.
Because they were working on it, and then she was like, oh, and she couldn't stand it, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, running across the ring. Wait, what?
Yeah, some things.
Yeah, some things are a bit greedy.
Some things. So women's division.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So, before I sort of say what I was going to say, who do you think's winning this?
Bianca Belair.
The thing with me is, in my mind, right, if Alexa and Asuka retain the belts, Bianca's retaining. If Damage Control win, Bayley's going to win, I feel. Because that's going to be no pun intended, a crowning duel of Damage Control holding all the belts.
It's very true.
So, I'm going to go off kilt on this one. I'm going to pick Bayley.
Okay, it's our first variation.
But that's only on the back of...
Yeah. I definitely see what you mean. I definitely think they are on the way to having all three with the belts. Not entirely sure if it's now.
Yeah.
But, at some point, Bianca's going to have to lose.
And I'd be very grateful to see her drop that title right now.
Drop the title and then change up the character.
Please.
Just a little bit.
Please.
Doesn't have to be a lot. Just something different. Spice things up.
Just change something.
Make us interested again.
Yeah.
I want to be interested. She is a good wrestler and she's good on the mic.
When she's not faffing around with her hair, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe needs to cut down on using jewels that fall out at the slightest pressure. I know. I want to like her, is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm just following you, disliking her.
Yeah. But right now, she's just not interesting.
So when she had the title, the first title run, I was so into it. I was watching all documentaries and just really into the whole story and her as a person as well. And it's just
you look at Asuka, you look at Alexa Bliss, you look at Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey. They've all altered and evolved and progressed the character along. And Bianca Belair is just kind of still stuck at the starting blocks.
Yeah. I know we keep going on about it and saying why our reasoning for not being into Bianca Belair, but I feel like we have to justify it because it's not.
But the thing is, someone's watching this video might not have seen the previous one,
true.
So we do need to kind of not rehashing, but kind of still putting that staple on our thoughts, because nothing has changed in the last month.
It doesn't. It makes me sad. I want to like her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then, saying that, and like I was saying with Extreme Rules, with I think the predictions in there, when we were talking about Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan is not a good match. But on the back of that, is Ronda Rousey versus Bayley a good match? Because the Survivor Series around the corner. I don't know if they're trying to build up to Bianca Belair versus Ronda Rousey.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like either.
I'd rather Bayley.
Yeah.
But Ronda's turning heel. So I don't know.
Maybe someone completely different. Throw Nikki Cross in there.
Damn, do I change my prediction now?
You've written it down, you can't change it.
I can. It's my notebook. If I want to.
I don't know.
No, I'm going to stick with Bayley. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Bayley. Okay. Moving on to our last match, but not our last talk about thing. It's Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the Undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. What we're going to do now is take you back in time, and we're going to put in our predictions from Extreme Rules here. But they have already announced that Logan Paul, will be facing Roman Reigns for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
We are not going to do a whole opinions about Logan Paul thing again.
No.
We've done it.
No. I think for the predictions for that will be Bloodline are great, Bloodline are awesome, We Are the One, Sami Zayn's non-Honorary Usos.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is beating the
That's our predictions done. We'll just cut and paste this into that video.
Don't tempt me. There we go. That was our prediction from Extreme Rules. Have you changed your mind?
No.
No? Cool. Yeah, no, me too. That's about as much time I want to give to that Logan Paul guy. So the problem is we start talking about this match.
Yeah,
and we're going to go on a tangent as to how much this guy should not be in this company.
Yeah.
He should not be where he is in the world, and it's already starting.
We've said it all. We've said it all before. Yeah. We don't want him to win.
Yeah. Cool. So, of the matches,
yes,
which of these is your most looked forward to? Which do you think is going to be the show stealer?
I think perhaps Drew versus
Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
yes. I have to agree with that.
I want to see what antics they get up to.
If I'm picking something different, just to be different from you, I'm going Usos versus Brawling Brutes.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be a fun one.
Because the Brutes have been putting on some bangers.
It's gonna be another banger.
I don't know if Sheamus, he's probably not going to watch this, but I'll say anyway, congratulations to Sheamus, who got married to his partner last weekend. That's why he's out with an injury.
The injury is his heart.
Oh. No, stop. I was going to say something else, but that would make this not PG, so I'm not going to do it. So I don't know if he's having time off for a honeymoon or if he's going to be back soon, because obviously there is a chance he could show up to this.
Yeah, maybe he's on honeymoon in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, imagine that. But yeah, so I think that could potentially steal it away from Kross and Drew. Mm-hmm. Potentially.
Maybe.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is Bray Wyatt is going to be at Crown Jewel.
What's he going to be doing?
I don't know. So
why is he there?
The last that we saw, obviously, okay, so he returned at Extreme Rules, showed up on SmackDown the next week and on the Friday after that. Mm-hmm. Started giving this like a heartfelt kind of moment and like a talk to the fans and the crowd and whatever. And then the White Rabbit appears on the screen and he's like, "You're not who you say you are," and kind of basically dismissing everything that Bray Wyatt said. Then next week on SmackDown and Raw, we're still getting these flashes of the White Rabbit and the kind of slight intercuts with the Death Moth and everything, which is pretty cool. And then last week on SmackDown, again, Bray Wyatt comes to the ring, he starts talking, and then up comes the figure on the screen. But it's not the White Rabbit. It's something that looks very different. It's almost... I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a face has been melted with plastic and moulded into the shape of a face, kind of... not using a scalpel, but kind of like just ad hocly kind of just molded it around someone's face. And it looks really weird and eerie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically introducing himself as Uncle Howdy. Now, I don't know, obviously SmackDown's been recorded.
Yes.
There wasn't a segment that I know of
Mm-hmm.
where Bray Wyatt comes out to talk to people. Doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't film something. Because 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, they had a backstage segment with Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Where he was talking to the crowd. But it was through the backstage, the Titantron.
Mm-hmm.
This week might be the same. And who's to say we don't get something more from Uncle Howdy at this point, or maybe a reveal?
Yeah.
I get the strong impression that the person in the Uncle Howdy mask is Bo Dallas, who is Bray Wyatt's in life real brother. It's his younger brother. A lot of people have said that the mask that he wears, the Uncle Howdy mask, almost looks like Bray Wyatt's uncle, Barry Windham. Which is kind of, when you look at it side by side, it's like, ooh.
It's just an uncle face.
it is kind of, yeah, it is. But it's the facial hair is the same on the mask, and it's like, oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, inspiration taken from real life sort of thing.
Yeah. So, if Uncle Howdy gets revealed this week and it's Bo Dallas, are we going to see an impromptu match with Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt at Crown Jewel?
Maybe.
Or are we just going to see Bray Wyatt come to the ring, Uncle Howdy will come out and be like, I'm not alone. Out comes more of the Firefly Funhouse members that we saw from Extreme Rules.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this, but I'm ridiculously excited for it.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculously excited. Yeah. So, Crown Jewel. Any last thoughts?
I'm quite looking forward to it. It feels like it's crept up on us a little bit, this event.
This month is... Well, October just flew straight by.
It's already gone.
For us as well, it's going to be airing at 4 p.m.
Yes.
So we can watch it live and hopefully get a reaction video out that night.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Take us away then.
Thank you so much for watching, as always. You've been a great audience. It's so good. Bray Wyatt. So we will be watching Crown Jewel. Hopefully get our reactions video up, as we said, same day if possible. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. You can also follow us on socials. Our link tree is below, which will have links to our Instagram and our Facebook and our Twitter, and also links directly to our most recent videos. So check that out. Put some clicks on there. I'd like to see those numbers ticking up when we had clicks.
Tick.
It's good stuff. Let us know in the comments what your predictions are for these matches. Anything you disagree with us about?
I'm sure there's someone will respond going, Logan Paul's going to win it.
Oh, Logan Paul's the best!
Supposedly Jake Paul's going to be in Saudi Arabia as well.
Alright, supporting. Nice. Good. And on that
part of me hopes that match is the very first one, so we just get out of the way, but it won't be.
No,
it won't be.
It'll be right at the end.
It won't be.
On that bombshell, we'll see you in Saudi Arabia, sort of. Bye-bye!